Hello everyone. So today's interview is very special because the moment I started taking interviews, I always wanted to take an interview of an entrepreneur. So today I am fortunate enough to take an interview of an entrepreneur which is working from last 35 years across 55 plus countries, touched more than 1 lakh entrepreneurs, trained them, guided them, and everything related to entrepreneurship. She is the guru of it. I am in conversation with Dr. Hina Shah. Without taking much time, let's get started.
When I went to factory, I told him because his factory was 20 feet by 30 feet.
Okay.
And my imagination of industry is Tata's. I said, is this your factory? He said, yes. I said, what are you going to do here? Nothing is going to come out. It's such a small factory. How are you going to get the money out of it?
First of all, thank you, ma'am, for having us here and accepting to give interview to us.
It's all my pleasure.
I will take the liberty to take the time back somewhat in the past. Your childhood was in Jamshedpur, if I'm not wrong, right? And then you did your masters from MS University, Baroda. So how did that happen? Was it the entrepreneurship that spirit or that idea of entrepreneurship, was it in childhood or it came later on the period?
Entrepreneurship was never there in my childhood. Never I dreamt to become an entrepreneur. In Jamshedpur, I grew up in the company where everybody was an employee.
Yeah.
So there was nobody as entrepreneur. But Jamshedji Tata was an entrepreneur who employed everybody. I was always very impressed with him, but that's it. And I thought he's too big. And too successful entrepreneur, so I never thought of becoming an entrepreneur. But journey of education was very, very important for me. My father was an engineer and he always thought that I am good with studies, so I must study science. So I did my education in Gujarat. That is because in Bihar the education system was not all right, especially when there were a lot of unrest for education during Jayaprakash Narayan and all. So colleges and university used to remain closed. So my father thought that in Gujarat the education is better. So he said, you might as well go and study in Gujarat. So I joined my MS University from the first year itself. And I did my masters, MSc, and then also I always thought of doing PhD and becoming a lecturer.
Okay.
Because that is what was the master's degree suggested. Though my father used to tell me that you become a scientist of a national laboratories, but those were the, the vague visions, very blurred vision, it never was very clear. So up to MSc, there was no dream of becoming an entrepreneur.
Up to MSc?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is the journey from Jamshedpur to Baroda to do my studies and do a job which is relevant to my studies. That's it.
So as you told that Jamshedji Tata was a huge inspiration or influence on you. Tell us about that.
What I saw in Jamshedji Tata's personality, that which at the young age I did not understand. But when I grew, I understood that Jamshedji Tata said that I want to start industry in a village. In Sakchi, and I need only 2 acres of land where I want to put up my steel plant. And where I will put up the steel plant, there will be schools, there will be hospitals, there would be houses for the employees, there would be proper plantation, there would be proper roads, there would be a lot of place for children to play. That was his vision. And I was very impressed with that vision. I thought if Jamshedji Tata can start something so in such a small place, that is the bigger vision what he had, and that impressed me a lot. So that always remained with me. I always thought that small, one can start very small, but one can think very big. And in that process, I took my daughters also to Jamshedpur to show them that how Jamshedji Tata started his factory in 2 acres of land, and then he became the giant in the country, and now they are all internationally having their plans and all. But what I wanted to rather experience that a small business, small enterprise also can think to become very big. Becoming big is a process,
Yeah.
but one can think and one can really work it out. That impression always stayed with me. And thereafter, Jamshedji Tata's Jamshedpur, I saw it was a beautiful town. Everybody had the plants and greenery and lots of flowers, which always remain with me. So even after leaving Jamshedpur, when I started my work in Ahmedabad, you can see in my campus that how green it
Yeah.
is, which is much different than most of the Gujarat industrial
Yeah, I agree with that.
areas. You can see all kinds of flowers, and if you see from here, you will see only the butterflies are moving in the garden. So that was my dream, and I'm very happy that I have been able to live with my own dreams.
Somewhere that ideology is still intact.
It is in my soul,
Yeah.
and
That's
that nobody
wonderful.
can separate it out,
And I also wanted to know this. When I met you last time, I told you that your life events are such that it itself is answers to many questions that today's generation or youth will have on entrepreneurship and all. So I want to ask this: that after your marriage, you were housewife till for 10 years, right? If I'm not wrong, you were not majorly working or something like
I'll
that.
share with you.
Okay, sure. So I think you resumed after 10 years. So that gap is right now, if I will ask my mother to do something after 10 years of gap, then it will be it would take a lot of inspiration and so motivation. Yeah. So how did you do that? What was the story behind that?
Well, when I did my masters and what my parents' dream and what my dream were to work.
Okay.
But in Indian society, once you get married, your life comes to standstill. Same thing happened to me. I got married. My husband decided to settle in a Surendranagar, which is a small town. He wanted to start, his own business. And my career was of no importance at that point of time. And as usual, what a girl feels that you have a Rajkumar who will take you away and then you live happily ever after, which I never thought of it. On the first day only, I started telling that, okay, you start your business, but what am I going to do? So my in-laws and family used to feel that I'm not a very good person because I'm only thinking of what I'm going to do in life. And I'm not satisfied with a husband who is starting a business and things like that. But that gave me a lot of depression kind of thing, that they are not understanding that what will happen to me. I'm just going to ruin my life. That started happening from the very first day. So for 1 year, I didn't do much.
Yeah.
But then I told my husband that I'm not really very happy just sitting at home. There is nothing known. I was pursuing PhD, but I could not do PhD at that point of time. So Surendranagar was a town where I could know nothing because there was nothing.
Yeah,
it was a small town. So he said, okay, then you come to factory. I said, what am I going to do in the factory? He said, you find out what you want to do. I just didn't want to sit at home. So I went to factory, and when I went to factory, I told him, because his factory was 20 feet by 30 feet.
Okay.
And my imagination of industry is Tata's. I said, is this your factory? He said, yes. I said, what are you going to do here? Nothing is going to come out. It's such a small factory. How are you going to get the money out of it? It was a packaging material factory. But that was they were my dreams crashing down, because my imagination of factory was different. My imagination of marriage was different. My imagination, life after marriage was different. My imagination, acceptance of me as Hina was different. It did not happen.
Yeah.
That was a very difficult time. So he said, no, but then you come and what can we do? You do and go and sell. So I can produce and you sell.
Yeah.
So I said, where will I go for selling? I've never done selling. He said, you go to textile mills here, there, and all.
And we are talking about 1970.
I'm talking about 79.
Okay. Yeah.
78, 79. And he said, okay, you go there and sell. He said, where will I go? He said, go to textile mill. I had never gone for those kinds of things. I didn't know anything about marketing also. So he said, no, you take this material and go. He explained to me, in this one box of it, there are 144 sheets, and you have to sell those sheets in particular amount. And you sell number of sheets to the textile mill. And I went to the textile mill. First, my experience to go to textile mill was Reliance. And I went there. Mr. Chovatia was there as a marketing manager. And they were all surprised to see a woman coming for a sale. So somewhere I was happy, because then immediately they will call me inside. They would not ask me to sit at the reception. And I went inside, and he said, okay, wow, when you came, this. Now show me your material. And then I showed my material. And he broke away the material like that. He said, rubbish. What dirty material you are bringing? This has got no strength. What is the gauge of the material? I didn't know what is the gauge of the material. There's no strength. Take out. We don't buy such lower quality of material. And I was about to cry, but I didn't. I came home. I was so dejected. Anyway, I was dejected, passing through the dejection. And then this happened. So when I went back, I told my husband, you are making useless material. Your material has got no value, and nobody is going to buy that. He said, why you are talking like this? I said, no, he tore off, and don't make such, what is the gauge of it? He said, you didn't tell him that this is the gauge. I said, you didn't tell me. You should have asked me. So the process of my learning was very tough. I didn't know what to ask. I didn't know what to tell. So in that process, I learned, and then my husband said, he said, you are not a good producer. He said, I would like to tell you are not a good salesperson. A good salesperson can sell anything in the market. That was my first lesson of entrepreneurship.
Wow.
And I said, Acha, is that so? All right. Then from there I learned what is the gauge of it. Then I started selling my products, and I managed to sell. And my husband was happy that I was doing a good job in marketing. So my entrepreneurial first lesson was in marketing. And of course, my husband, he was in production, and we had people working for us. I had the Tata's background with me. So I would not like toilets and things like that were supported by my husband. I would say in Tata's things were like that, and you are doing this. In Tata's things were like that, you are doing this. So there was always a comparison. And that helped me in learning that how the production unit should work. I planted maybe 50 plants all around, and I made the things very different. Because that was my imagination. It was a small place, but I started reliving my Jamshedpur experience. So that is the way I entered into entrepreneurial field.
Still in 2019, I have seen the women's are little hesitant in marketing and all, and you started at that time with the marketing, and that's really great inspiration for youth. Also,
I wanted to do something, so I never remained hesitant. I wanted to do, but I made a lot of mistakes. So one thing I learned, that I'm always ready to make mistakes, but I'm ready to learn. That is my life motto. Even I am today also, I am learning. I enjoy learning, whether it is tennis or dance or music or swimming. As soon as a guru is there, my coach is there, my lead there, I feel I have to give up. Somebody else has to really teach me, and that process of learning is always very, very interesting. And therefore my life is very interesting now as well, because every day I'm learning something new.
Great. Also, one thing happened, your loan got rejected the first time when you started something. Your loan got rejected due to, I think I read somewhere that due to as you are a woman, then you weren't able to do something.
Yeah, I'm sitting with a man who is encouraging me to talk, but even today women's loans are not being very happily sanctioned. So that is the time when I was working with my husband. Then there was a time when I grew well. I learned costing, I learned marketing, I was in touch with production. I knew how to handle many things. I was moving in the market, so I realized that how my husband's product PVC could be replaced by the polypropylene. So I came and I told him that polypropylene will be replacing your product. So what will happen to you? He said, you don't know anything. I am a technical person. You don't understand those things. So nothing is going to happen to our product. But I knew in the market that soon PVC will be replaced. So he decided that he's not going to change. So I said, okay, let me start the PVC plant. And I tried to get the things done and all. And it was during that time when I would go to the banks that I want the loan to start my own business. So bank people said that Surendranagar was a very small place. There were not many banks.
Yeah.
So they said, but we have given it to your husband. I said, so what? You have given to my husband for his business. I want it for my business. They said, we don't give loans to two persons in one family. I said, why? I'm giving you profitable business plan. How are you going to reject that? No, that is our motto. In one family, we will not give. I said, okay, I'll divorce my husband. Then he was shocked. He said, what do you mean? You don't mean it. I said, of course I mean it. I'll divorce. You give me the loan. After that, I'll get married again. So the bank manager was shocked, and they never expected that a woman can talk like that, But because I was very clear that I want to do something, I just don't want to give up my life just looking after my husband. So that is the way it happened. But that bank didn't give me. No, it did not give me. It was a difficult period for me to work at that point of time. However, then Gujarat Finance Corporation gave me the loans. I began my business.
That's great. So this is another example for people who didn't get the loan. Even today, you can still continue. Somewhere
See,
you will find.
anything, even today when you are taking this interview, there are many.
Yeah.
There are problems, there are no problems. We would have done it without the light had we not seen Sheetal here.
Yeah.
I was not seeing Kapil anywhere, so I was not in the mood to call him. And so problems are always there. One thing I learned that I don't see any problem as a problem. I always move to the alternative very quickly and very fast. If you say aisa nahi hoga, okay.
तो कैसा
Next.
होगा?
No, I would never ask. My mind will be okay. ऐसा नहीं होगा, कोई बात नहीं, ऐसा तो होगा.
ऐसा तो होगा.
So I immediately move towards that.
Yeah.
And that has really helped me. So therefore my life had lot of problems, but I didn't see the problem as problem.
Yeah.
So it became very smooth. So I have a lovely smooth life. People feel कि तुमको तो कोई problem ही नहीं है. It's not like that.
You made it smooth.
But I don't see problem as problem.
Yeah.
So my alternative moves are very fast and very quick. So problems do not remain.